They said that Eric would find me after what they did to me.
It's fine. I know what's not fine. It's awful. But I look at Portia. There's nothing good is coming out of any of this. It is what it is. Are you feeling okay? And I look at the vomit. Do you feel sick?
A day ago, they made me drink something, and now I can't stop throwing up.
All right, to the car, and I race her to the ER.
A search of the place finds a small metal container with a laboratory sticker on it with the letters PO-210. PO-210. It's from the periodic table of elements.
Tony? Nope, PL.
Polonium-210.
Polonium, radioactive.
And you find the story of Alexander Litvenko, former KGB, escaped Russia to the UK, and allegedly was assassinated by the order of Vladimir Putin via some polonium-210 in a cup of tea. Despite medical attention, he died 3 weeks later.
Pedal to the metal. 3 weeks is a long time. There may not be a cure, but if there is, the sooner the better.
You get her back to the ER. And what about Eric? Do you let him...
Not until I know what's going on. There's no point right now.
Okay, speaking of Eric, you're about 15 miles away from a junction where you can head north on M78 or head south on I-95. How do you make the decision to go north or south? They're both a good 2 hours away from the next town on a single road. McDermott, which is on the border of Idaho and Nevada. The other town is New Princeton, which is deeper into the center of Oregon. It's hard to say because they both look like they go into the middle of nowhere, and you don't really have a lot of experience following demons' cars. Like, there's not a whole lot of information on what do demons do after they do their demon stuff. Like, how do they get back to hell? Do they go back to hell? Like, where's this guy going? And I'm going to tell you, I've already decided where they're going, and I'm not going to change that based on like what you say. You got my word on that as a DM. And it's not that you couldn't pick up the trail later. It's just that at that specific junction, there's no way to immediately tell based on traffic cam which way. Like, you could pick up the trail in as little as like half an hour if you make the wrong choice. Then you've lost an hour because half an hour the wrong direction, half are back. And then that's bad news. 30 minutes is something you were kind of making up.
Right. So you said, again, the two options, north. Did that take you deeper into Oregon?
North takes you deeper into Oregon, and then south takes you to Nevada. Wait.
Oregon?
Right next to the town of Riddle and Wackahoney. Oh, next to Dickens' place and China Hat, like in James' place. Like, this is like the little area of fun town. Do you need a map?
I go south.
You go south. Okay. I mean, I wish there was more for you to do, but you're going to be stuck in the car for a while. Gerald, you get Tammy back to the hospital, and some of the doctors there recognize you from before.
That's fine.
She pukes her guts out again when she's out of the car.
I tell Tammy, you don't know me. I just found you. It'll make this simpler. It'll be better for you and everyone.
She nods her head. She doesn't say anything. She's got her hand over her mouth. Yeah, the doctors rush up, and they look at her. What's wrong with her?
I pull out and I show him the badge. Sorry I didn't say anything before. All right, that was personal. Is she doing okay? Megan?
There has been no change in her condition.
This is clearly not official. And I found this woman, and I think it's unrelated to what's going on right now, but I am certain she's been dosed with what I believe is poison. I don't know what's going on, but I'm certain she's been poisoned with this, which I believe is polonium, whatever, 210.
The doctor stiffens. Did you open that? We need to get this away from people as quickly as possible. That is an extremely lethal substance. You didn't get any on you, did you? Gets on the horn by the desk and pages somebody from radiology to get here immediately with some badges. And he says, you can't go anywhere. And I put that down right now and step away from it. And he makes you put it on the floor, and he backs away from it. Someone from radiology comes with a lead vest, which he wraps around the box and also takes a badge and sticks it under the vest and then pulls the badge out. And it doesn't turn black, but the badge does start to turn color. Well, agent, you're not going to die. The doctor gives you a look.
I saw signs of vomiting, but I don't know if that's radiation poisoning.
The doctor shakes his head. And
like, there's nothing that can be done?
Whispers, we try to make her comfortable. When did she start throwing up? About 2 hours after I drank it. We need to get you some medicine so you'll feel better. And he gives her to a nurse. Look, agent, I don't know what this woman is to you. She's got days, if that, depending on how strong she is. She has radiation poisoning. That's very, very bad. I wish there was something that could be done, but the damage is already there.
So what you're saying is that woman has zero chance?
There's nothing we can do except give her something for the pain, which
All right,
is going
do
to
that.
get a lot worse.
I need to make some calls.
Who, with Eric?
Yep.
Your phone rings. You're about, I would say, 3 hours from Nampa right now.
All right, you need to come back. I got there, did the best I could, managed to not get your mother shot, but it looks like they had pre-poisoned her, and assumedly this other person was polonium. We don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know how long she has.
Continues at his current pace while he processes the information.
Man, I made myself feel bad.
I feel awful.
Like, I wrote it and I feel bad now that it's happened.
Conway?
Yeah.
I appreciate effort put in to rescue my mother. Then he hangs up,
Wow.
I assume that we lost connection, and I call him back immediately.
straight to voicemail.
Eric?
Eric decides to turn around. Right now, he's pretty much just focused on the road, just trying to get back as quickly as he can.
Does anyone know anything about fighting radiation poisoning on the supernatural front?
So within a half an hour, you've got two options, neither of which are very good. It involves a human sacrifice. This time, purity is a factor. You have to go out of your way to find the right person for this one. You need like a sterile field almost as far as moral damage to their soul.
What's option 2?
The other option is a crossroads deal.
Well, it's not like Gerald has 10 years left in him anyway, but he'd rather not go to hell. Great, neither of those are helpful. Till he gets here, I go and spend time with Tammy.
She says she's actually feeling much better and that she thinks she'll be fine.
Ugh.
I just sort of nod. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Where's Eric? She keeps asking for Eric.
He's on his way. He's on his way. He's a few hours out.
Thank you for coming.
Don't thank me.
No, really, I'd be dead without you. I thought I was going to die under a tarp in a warehouse, covered in my own vomit, and I'd never see my son again.
I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be the way it ends for you.
I just don't know what I would have done without you.
Look, this is, everything that's happened to you is my fault. So don't thank me.
You didn't do any of those things to me.
Because of what we do, this happened to you. You didn't deserve any of this. I can't help but just feel it's my fault, even if I wasn't the one who did it.
I need to tell you something, son, and I want you to take this with you wherever you go.
I'm probably older than you.
And don't you ever take the guilt of the evil that is around you. Put that on yourself. It'll drag you down to hell. It's on them. You're a good man, Gerald. That's all I've seen from you. Good man, tries to help others, doing the best. And I wouldn't be in this room without you. About to see my son come through that door. That's on you. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Feeling a little better. Why don't you go get me some pudding? I think I could keep it down.
I will do that. I make sure there's pudding and jello and any number of things. Creamed corn, whatever they have. She will have a selection because she is going to die. He pops a couple of pain pills, hits his flask, and goes and gets some pudding.
You go, you come back, you give her what she wants. She eats it, she seems happy. That's about the time. Eric, you tear into that hospital parking lot like a bat out of hell. You park the car as close to the entrance as you can get it, leave it there, and get inside. Eric rushes inside, and there's your mom. She's eating pudding, Gerald's sitting there, and she looks very happy to see you. Tries to get up out of the bed, but after like a quick moment of working on that, she realizes that's probably not the best idea. She puts her arms out, she wants a hug from you.
I stand and I kind of give him a quick hug or whatever. Hey, she doesn't know. I thought maybe you should be the one to tell her. Sorry. And I walk out and let him be with his mother.
Eric, honey, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
I guess we had that in common.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
You don't know what they did.
No, Conway filled me in on my way back.
How could they do such a thing?
Because they're heartless, soulless monsters from the pit of hell.
Well, none of that matters now. We gotta get you away from all of this, honey. I can't have you living this lifestyle no more.
I definitely appreciate the sentiment.
Why don't we do what your dad always wanted for us, but never could quite make it happen? Why don't we get that little piece of property up north? No. Just keep to ourselves and live out our lives being happy. Maybe get some chickens and grow some corn. Lead a simple life.
Simple life, especially after all this, does sound nice, but unfortunately, That's a life that is no longer in the cards for us. Listen, when I met up with my father 3 years ago and we started hunting together, the only thought I had in mind was protecting as many people from the things they don't even know exist. I was, and in many ways, still am naive. What you've been through, what I've been through, what even Conway has been through. This isn't necessarily indicative of this life. For Conway, his tragedy struck early. Monsters killed his family. But even then, it was something he could wrap his head around. What we're into now is literally trying to beat back the forces of hell. And I dragged you, however unwittingly, right into the middle of that. And that is going to haunt me until I reach the inevitable conclusion that all hunters reach.
So, what are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say.
I'm your mama. You can tell me anything. You don't gotta dance around, okay? Still gonna love you no matter what you say.
First, what you were dosed with, you took more than a lethal dose.
No, honey, no, you gotta be wrong. See, the doctors, they gave me medicine here, and I'm feeling a lot better. I haven't thrown up in over an hour.
They gave you the medicine, and that is simply to manage, make sure that you don't suffer. I wish I was wrong, but...
Your mom looks at you, and she forces herself to get out of bed, and she winces. She wipes the tears from the side of her face, and she gives you a hug, and she holds you, and she goes, "Everything's gonna be okay, baby. Don't you worry about a thing."
Well, that's one of the things that always made you a great mother. I'm going to stick around for a bit, but I need to talk to Conway for a moment. You get back in bed. Is there anything you need me to get you?
No, baby. I'll be all right.
I'll be back.
Okay, you help your mom lay back down in bed, and she looks a little tired. The doctor sees you step outside. He walks over to you, Eric, and says, "Are you the next of kin?"
Yes.
We'll do everything we can to make her comfortable. Whatever time you have left where she is not too much pain to understand what's going on is very limited, so don't waste it.
Thank you, doctor. First, not being sensitive, but we should probably cover the basics. As far as your mother goes, I said there was a couple of options. They're both bad. The ritual that lost you your eye, we needed the heart of an evil man. We could maybe save your mother if we sacrificed a good person, like a truly good person. There's a ritual. Pretty sure doing that kind of ritual sends you straight to hell. Which leads us to option 2. The only other way to save your mother is a deal, which also sends you to hell.
I'd imagine you would be fully aware at this point that neither of those options are truly options.
It's the only thing I could come up with.
Conway, I appreciate your efforts, man. Apparently this is just toll you pay.
Spend what time you have with your mother then. If it makes you feel any better, at least know that you have the chance to get as much closure as you can. Some people don't get that and take advantage. If you need me, then I just leave.
Eric, your mom, she looks tired, but she's happy to see you. She looks a little sad. I saw you out there with the doctor. Did you mean what you said? There's no coming back from this?
Yeah, fortunately.
At least I'll get to see your daddy, but not you, honey. I don't want to see you again for a long time, you understand?
I'll
be there waiting for you when you're ready, but not too soon, all right?
Understood.
I want you to promise me, young man, don't make the first thing I do when I see you give you the belt. You ain't gonna ever be too old for me to give you that belt, understand?
You did.
And she's treating this like you're the one who's suffering. That's what she always did as a mom. She was always there for you, always put you first, made sure that you grew up right, and that hasn't changed.
We just sit there.
Gerald, Eric, and Tammy are just kind of riding the clock out at this point.
I leave the hospital and I go get a bite to eat. I keep hitting the whiskey. I feel like shit. I start making some phone calls. I start doing calls on Grigori, my new arch enemy. Spend that time researching and drinking and being full of self-hate.
Does Gerald go behind Eric's back and make a crossroads deal?
I had been tempted to do that. Now would be the time. My instinct is to say yes, he would. He's been rash with guilt, especially now that he's full of this depression, post-God snorting and everything. That just seemed like a very in-character thing to do. And at this point, if I keep her alive, it's just so she can be tortured more, even if not directly, but by the death of her son. So no, I don't personally pursue a crossroads deal despite my guilt.
It's going to take 3 days for Tammy to die. The next day, she is still trying to laugh and be in good spirits. Probably one of the better days you've had in a while. You talk, you reminisce. talk about your dad a lot. She tells you a lot about what a good son you were, how she always knew you'd grow up to be right. And it seems like the things that the doctors are giving her are starting to matter less. And you start hearing things from the doctor like, if we give her any more, it'll do more harm than good. And that's day 2. The next day, she can't hide how much pain she's in anymore. She can't keep anything down or in. And there's a couple times where she asks you to leave to go get her something to drink, where you know she's asking you to leave so that she can act like she's in as much pain as she is in and not try to put on a brave face for you because she doesn't want you to see just how bad she hurt.
I would try to take some time telling her just how amazing her son is and how smart he is and how much of a difference in the short time I've known him as a hunter, that it's dangerous, but he has saved a lot of people. Her son is freaking amazing, and that I will keep my eye on him, keep him safe to the best of my ability. Knowing that she's getting bad at the end of day 2, I would try to pull a doctor aside. This is getting bad. Don't you think instigating a coma state would not just be best for the family?
That would be up to the next of kin.
At some point, it's on you as a doctor to make the best medical decision for the comfort of the patient and their family. And I think you should keep that in mind.
The doctor actually looks genuinely moved by your compassion, and he pulls you aside and puts his hand on your shoulder and his other hand on your hand, like he would comfort a family member. And he says to you, I know you're probably in some tough situations now and again, but something that I have learned in the course of my career is that even though it can be painful in those last goodbyes, no matter how much pain the person is in, do more good than bad in the long run. And if that's what everybody wants, knowing how important it can be, I could never take it upon myself to take what could be the final moments. I don't know what those words will be that will give him that comfort. So I can't, in good conscience, take that from them if that's not what they tell me.
And you have what you have to do. Just remember, do no harm.
The doctor gives you a hug. And he goes,
Fuck.
Sometimes there is no right answer. And it's the ones like this that we carry with us. If you need it, we have some grief counselors on staff. If you need to talk about some things about what's going on right now. If you
have a good day.
My advice for him, don't let him say he doesn't need a grief counselor. Because he does. And that's all the doctor says.
If he did anything that involves sacrificing someone else for her life, it would be a complete betrayal of who she was as a person. She's not a stupid woman. She would probably start digging into what the life is and probably come to understanding what happened to save her. Her son condemning himself to hell to save her life. Like, no, you couldn't do that to her. Like, as bad as this is.
That's worse. The next day is your mom's last. She's barely conscious of the amount of morphine that she's been given. You do get a few moments of clarity near the end where she kind of makes peace that her life is over and that she's not going to be alive for much longer. She tells you that she loves you and not to blame yourself and to not lose yourself in what's about to happen. There's plenty of life left to live out there, and to know that she'll be watching you from wherever she is, hoping that you'll find a way to be happy and to not be consumed by anger. Her final words to you are, Eric, honey, I want you to know that I love you and that I want you to be happy. Tell Mama you can do that for her and I can die in peace.
Well, I've never been one to lie. I do my best for you.
Eric, honey, just this one time I want you to lie to me.
All right.
Say the words, honey.
I'll find that life and I'll live happy.
That's my boy. And she closes her eyes and flatlines.
So neat.
And then it's the whole thing where, the doctors rush in and they look at her and they look at you and they shake their heads. Like they could shock her and try to bring her back, but to what? And Gerald, you get the news shortly thereafter. That's it.
I put out a call for local hunters. She's going to have a funeral.
Definitely cremation. There's literally no way on the body.
Don't need to be haunted by your wrathful mother.
Or zombie or demon-possessed mother.
No switcheroos, nothing, nope.
No DM bullshit.
Nope.
No, that's perfectly fine. She's burned as she should be. You're given a box with her ashes in it. Before we jump into the opening cinematic, why don't we jump into the hospital where Joe D is currently on the same floor as Tammy and Eric. Joe, you wake up to the sound of someone coding very close to you. You hear doctors rushing around. You hear monitors beeping. In the hospital, it's not the same as it is what you see on TV. It's a lot more drawn out. It's a lot more violent. They go for a lot longer than would make a normal person comfortable. And that's what you hear going on a couple doors down when you wake up.
I sit up. Is there anyone in my room?
There's no one in your room, and you're not even hooked up to any machines.
I'll go out into the hallway.
You see a nurse running by on her way to the room with the code.
Nurse.
She stops and turns at you.
What am I doing here?
I don't have time for that right now. You'll have to wait for the doctor. And she rushes off, down a couple of doors and ducks into a room.
I have insurance. All right. I'll walk down and see what the commotion's all about.
You make your way in there, and in the corner of the room is Eric. And there's about 6 people working on Tammy in a hospital bed. She doesn't look too good. Her face is all peeling, hair's all messed up, but nothing seems to be doing anything. And the longer you watch, the more uncomfortable it gets, because you would make eye contact with Eric and you just instantly know exactly what's going on and that it's not anything good.
I wait outside. I feel okay.
And then the doctors call time of death. And Eric, you're asked to leave. And it's you, Gerald, and Joe standing there.
Well, I think I should say at the moment.
I just place my hand on Eric's shoulder and he says, "No, I'm sorry."
So that happens. Joe, you're able to get yourself cleared from the hospital, after which they make arrangements to bribe an ambulance driver to do a phony drop-off to an undertaker. The ambulance driver takes it where you say you want it taken, and you can do your hunter's funeral. You're in the woods. You stack the pyre. Who lights mom on fire?
I do.
Do you say any words?
Nope.
Anyone say any words?
What the hell happened? Bottom line, did they get what they were looking for?
They got part of it from the quarry.
Corey.
Yeah, that shit was annoying me last week.
Really? That bothered you, Corey?
Corey.
Stop it. Stop it. Just no.
Never.
Okay. So they got part of what they were looking for. What was it?
Some sort of demon machine. I had to choose the life of one of 2 people, Tammy and some woman I've never seen before.
Some unidentified woman.
And I tried to come up with something, but I only had a minute. Ultimately, I chose Tammy. The other person was killed with a shotgun. The demon took off. I managed to get Tammy, but it turns out he had been making them drink radioactive material. She wasn't going to live anyway, but I rushed her back to the hospital and got Eric on the horn and got him to come back so he could at least say his goodbyes.
Yeah, that guy's still at the warehouse.
Yeah, I need to go take care of that.
So, what are you guys driving? Still the Firebird?
That's what I'm driving.
Are you letting other people drive with you?
I get in, sure.
So while you were gone, Joe called shotgun. So you take everybody in the Firebird out to the abandoned warehouse in Marsing, and you get there. It's quiet.
I guess we just go make sure there's no demons.
I want a stamp. Can I get a stamp? Get an extra stamp. Put it in between my knuckles. Dip it in ink.
As you get closer, you do hear moaning. It's in the main area.
Well, I still enter the building the same way before, so this time I don't crawl and snake under. I just bust that door open.
The person that you exorcised the demon from is not where you left him. Everybody sees a body laying flat with half of its head gone and a spray of gray and black. The body is facing away at this moment. And in the corner of the room, you see a middle-aged man crouched over, holding his guts, looking like he has been sick recently.
Well, this is Conway's mess.
Go over to him. Hey.
Help me.
Yeah, sure. You have a protein bar.
I need a doctor.
Probably. What's going on?
I don't know where I am. I didn't have any food or water. By the second day, I had to drink something, and he points over to some standing water. I thought I would die if I didn't. And now I think I'm gonna die.
I look at the other 2, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this guy over to the hospital.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. How visible is the body?
It's a very visible body, but it's not identifiable from this angle. You'll have to walk around and see the part of the head that hasn't been blown off. Maybe a woman, small, African-American.
Has this ex-white vibe about her.
Have you ever seen somebody from the back and you just know who that person is? I slowly make my way up to the court, cautiously looking around, making sure there's no other demon activity.
It is quiet as the grave, except for the guy holding his stomach talking to Conway.
Ugh.
You didn't stamp him yet. Just to make sure, just stamp him again.
You reposition the body just a little bit, and then you recognize a mole on the side of her chin. Just a little tiny one. That's Portia, the woman who Conway had never seen before. The phone call that you got a couple of days ago where you kind of blew the guy off because, well, your ex really isn't your problem anymore. Turns out she had a little bit more problems than missing work. And if you remember the story Conway told you, he was the one that picked which one died.
You roll.
Die 20. Okay, here goes. Natural 20. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's going to be entertaining either way.
Son of a bitch.
Well, here it comes.
You son of a... He goes mad, and he just rushes the hell out of Conway.